He has to have a heart that is alive. The second part of that equation is that alqa sam'. He has to be listening with attentive ear. He says what this means is that he has to turn his attention. He has to turn his attention to that which is being said. He has to turn his attention to that which is being said. Meaning he can't be distracted and preoccupied by something else. He has to be attentively listening to that which is being said. And the last part of the equation, وَهُوَ الشَّهِيدُ. And it has to be present. And it has to be present. What does this mean, it has to be present? It means that the heart, it has to be present. The heart, it has to be there. It has to be mindful. And you see how everything is interconnected. So it's not just that you have to have a vessel that is conducive for the acceptance of that which is being said, but you also have to be listening attentively to that which is being said. And also that vessel has to be attentive. It has to be listening. It can't be preoccupied. It can't be preoccupied. So therefore, the Imams, they used to say that whoever listens to the Book of Allah and his heart is conscious, his heart is there, is attentive, is paying attention, and he is not distracted. He is not distracted, nor is he inattentive, then this one he will benefit. Then this one he will benefit. So if we want to benefit from the Qur'an, then we have to be listening attentively with hearts that are present. We can't allow our attention to be distracted. We can't be distracted by this or that. We can't be reading the Qur'an thinking about who we have to meet later on. We can't be reading the Qur'an thinking about what bills have to be paid. We can't be reading the Qur'an thinking about what, so on and so forth. Nah, you have to be reading it attentive to that which is being said, contemplating over that which is being said and the like. And to benefit from the Qur'an, ya ibad, we have to understand and we have to contemplate and we have to live by. Allah Ta'ala, He says, Kitabun anzalnahu ilayka mubarak. This is the book that has been sent down to you, most blessed. Why was the book sent down? Just so we can read it? Just so we can listen to it being recited? Just so we can recite it? No. No. There is benefit in reading it. There is benefit in reciting it. There is benefit in listening to its recitation. But this is not where the benefit begins and ends. No, this is only a portion of it. Only a part of the benefit. Allah Ta'ala, He goes on and He says, لِيَدَبَّرُوا آيَاتِهِ, so that its verses can be contemplated on. So that its verses may be contemplated on. وَلِيَتَذَكَّرَ أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ, and so that those who have a brain, they would remember. أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ, those who have intellect, those who have brains that are present, functional and working, so that they may reflect, they may get a reminder. Allah Ta'ala, He says, in case the one thinks that now, if we listen to the Qur'an, have it being recited, or listening to its recitation and the like, and then we contemplate on it and get a reminder from it, then we're done. No, this is only a portion of it. In addition to that which was aforementioned, one also, he must act in accordance to it. He must live by it in order for it to benefit him. Allah Ta'ala, He says, وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مُبَارَكٌ فَاتَّبِعُوهُ وَاتَّقُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. Allah Ta'ala, He says, and this is the book that was sent down, the most blessed book. Therefore follow it. فَاتَّبِعُوهُ, therefore follow it. Live your lives in accordance to it. Follow it. And fear Allah. Have piety. So that perhaps you will be shown mercy. So that perhaps you'll be shown mercy. So we have to, yes, listen and read the Qur'an with the heart that is present and attentive, listening attentively. We have to contemplate. We have to take lessons from and admonitions from the Qur'an, and then we have to apply that guidance of the Qur'an in our lives if we're going to benefit from it. And if we lose any one or any part of this equation, we will not benefit from the Qur'an. If we lose or we miss out on any part of this equation, then the Qur'an, it will be a proof against us. Not for us, but against us. So understand that to make hijrah from the Qur'an, to leave and abandon the Qur'an, it doesn't necessitate purely leaving it by not reciting it. Yes, this enters into it. By not reciting it, by not looking, by not reading, by not gaining guidance from. Yes, this is clearly leaving and making hijrah from the Qur'an. But also, making hijrah from the Qur'an, as the ulama explained, it is if one reads it, if one recites it, but then they don't live by it and they don't implement it. This also is making hijrah from the Qur'an. So you can make hijrah from the Qur'an even though you may read it on a daily basis and recite it on a daily basis and memorize some, half, a portion, all of it. If you're not living by it, then you have made hijrah from the Qur'an, and that Qur'an will be a proof against you. I'll leave you with an example. If you were giving a piece of machinery to operate, construction grade, heavy duty machinery, that clearly will be benefit to get whatever job that needs to be done, but can also at the same time clearly harm you if it was operated incorrectly. Right? Can clearly harm you if it was operated incorrectly. Would you jump in the driver's seat or the operator's seat of such a device without reading the manual, without taking some type of training, without learning how to operate it? In other words, without taking the information that is in the manual and transforming it into action, so that you operate it properly and that you won't hurt yourself? Everybody, of course, will say yes. And another example with regards to this is that what? No one jumps in a car without knowing how to drive. No one tells their 5-year-old and their 8-year-old, take the keys and drive me home. They will say, no, this will end in our destruction. We will perish. They don't know anything about driving. They don't have the know-how by way of which they may implement to operate the vehicle correctly. So if we understand this for these little things in the life, for these simple things in the life, why is it so unfathomable that we don't understand that the manual by way of which the Muslim lives his life by, meaning the Qur'an and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Why don't we make the connection now that manual must be implemented if we are going to achieve anything from safety? If we are going to achieve anything from safety in that which we desire from the good, then we have to implement the guidance that is contained therein. And without the implementation of this guidance, then we're like donkeys with carrying books on our backs. Doesn't benefit us. We don't benefit from it. It's like a person who has the know-how, he has the knowledge, he knows he's hungry, but then he doesn't utilize the knowledge of which he has to go and to eat and to chew and so on and so forth, so as to benefit himself. We know it doesn't work like that. Food does not jump in your mouth. It does not cause your jaws to come together and masticate the food. It does not then, after being masticated, jump down your throat. It doesn't happen like that. You have to put forth an effort. You have to work on that which you know. And if you don't, then you won't benefit from that knowledge. If we don't change our lives and live our lives by the Qur'an, if we don't change our lives and live our lives by that which Allah Ta'ala has revealed, if we don't change our lives and live our lives by that which the Prophet ﷺ has taught us, then verily no doubt we're going to be ruined, because none of us is guaranteed, none of us is entitled to Jannah. None of us is entitled to Jannah. None of us is guaranteed nor entitled to Jannah. None of us is just going to get the Jannah because we have that much merit. We have to work, we have to strive, we have to work hard for the Jannah. Islam is not inherited. Just because you're in a Muslim family, your mother's Muslim, your father's Muslim, don't mean you're going to be Muslim. Everyone has to make a choice. Everyone has to make a decision. Everyone has to believe and submit themselves to Allah Ta'ala. And you're not going to benefit without that submission. You're not going to benefit because those who are around you submit. You will only benefit if you yourself submit. And if you yourself don't submit, then you will be the first one and the only one who will perish. You will have lost yourself. So Allah Ta'ala, He says, اتَّبِعُوا مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكَ. So therefore follow that which has been revealed to you from your Lord. Follow that which has been revealed to you from your Lord. اتَّبِعُوا مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكُم مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا مِن دُونِهِ أَوْلِيَاءَ قَلِيلًا مَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. So follow that which has been revealed to you all from your Lord, and do not follow other than it. Do not follow other than it. Do not live your lives by other than the guidance of Islam. Do not live your lives by other than the guidance of Islam. Live your lives by Islam. Live your lives by Islam. Live your lives by the Qur'an. Live your lives by the Sunnah. This is how you will benefit. And if you don't do this, Allah Ta'ala, He says, and how little do you reflect? How little do you comprehend? Because this is the only way of guidance, the only way of success. And that which is opposite than it, that it will be a way of destruction. هذا يا عباد. Contemplate on this. Contemplate on this, and then utilize yourselves as a frame of reference. Contemplate, ya ibad. Take this and let it marinate. بإذن تعالى. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم وأقيموا الصلاة فإن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر.